Hello, I'm April Vitiello, talking about my shared vision for school. So when I went about my written vision statement, I had an early childhood center in mind. I am currently the supervisor of our Raising Readers preschool in Nutley, which is a preschool expansion initiative. We're currently in year 3, serving 195 students. Our goal is over the next few years to be serving our entire universe, which is approximately 550 students. So the ultimate goal is eventually to have an early childhood center where we would be able to house all of our students. And my hope is over the next few years to be the principal or director of the center. So in thinking about early childhood and this specific school vision in mind, I really have an approach that's rooted in holistic educational philosophy, supporting our early childhood learners through play-based, developmentally appropriate practices. So theories like Piaget's cognitive development and Vygotsky's social emotional learning is really aligned with this, with the importance of interaction. And this also aligns with our high quality creative curriculum and our pyramid model evidence-based approach to social emotional learning that we utilize. These frameworks align with the importance of critical thinking and curiosity and interaction for our students. There's also a commitment to diversity and inclusion, and that respects culturally responsive pedagogy. So I think it's important to note that learning at any age, but especially with our early childhood learners, is pluralistic in nature. So we need to tailor the curriculum to meet the needs of those individual students, with inclusion being something that is fostered and held in high regard. And we also need to do that keeping in mind the cultural needs of our learners. So diversity is a cornerstone of my vision. I think that we need to be celebrating various cultures, perspectives, individual differences, and really ensuring that the school environment is one that is inclusive and equitable. I think that schools should be a place that students want to come because it feels safe, warm, nurturing, and that is really important. I am a firm believer in Maslow's hierarchy of needs, that if your basic needs aren't met and students don't feel safe and welcomed and included, they're not going to be available for other types of learning. That has to be in place first before students are available. So with that being said, school climate and culture is imperative. And with our youngest learners, we need to be warm and engaging and nurturing and safe and meeting students where they are and adapting our expectations to meet their needs. Also, I think it's really important that vision is not something that's developed from one person. So it needs to be a shared vision and it needs to involve multiple stakeholders. So for me, those groups include not only the staff and the families, but finding ways to include our students and our community members. I think that that is really important. And to start, really kind of forming like what I have formed as an early childhood advisory council with those different stakeholders mentioned and collecting data. So looking at demographic data, sending out a community needs assessment to find out what are the needs of our preschool families and beyond. And then making sure that our goals align with what those needs are and that our initiatives that we're putting into place are supporting and representative of what our community is saying is needed. And I think that this is not only important when engaging in the vision process, but in the living of the vision. So hiring practices, like when we're looking to hire staff for the program, whether that be a teacher, a support staff, like a teacher assistant or a coach or something of that matter, that I want to look for staff that not only have the appropriate certifications, obviously that's really important, but their vision or views on education should really align with what our school's vision is. So really looking for educators that have an inclusive mindset, that understand and are culturally responsive and culturally competent educators, and believe in the importance of developmentally appropriate practices. I mentioned a little bit about the importance of inclusion and incorporating various stakeholders for not just the creation of the vision, but the refinement. So over time, this is not like a one and done, right? So it has to be an ongoing process. So something that we've started in this program is an early childhood advisory council. So that includes teachers, not just pre-K teachers, but teachers in K through 3 are also invited. Also parents of children in the program, community members, so inviting people from Nutley Family Service Bureau, which is an organization in town that helps families with mental health services, housing, food. We have a food pantry, and different other ways of supporting. There's case management, things like that. Our health and safety department are involved in our council. Our parks and recreation, so knowing at the youngest age, this is the first time families are entering our school community, and our neighborhood is constantly evolving and changing. So some of our families are new and they're not aware of the resources in the community. So this is a great opportunity to bring all these people together to link our families to the community resources, and also hear from the families, how are they accessing the resources that are available to them, and are they helpful? Is there something that we're missing the mark on? Is there something else that they need support with that we're not offering right now? And I think that this is important because not only doing this will help strengthen our community ties, but I think that by involving all of these community members and different stakeholders in the process, that it will also strengthen their shared responsibility for the success of our students and our community. With regard to supervision and support, I think that it's really important that we're looking at different layers of things. So obviously, as the administrator, I think that it's really important that I'm visible, accessible, that staff feel like that they can come and talk to me, that they're comfortable when I'm in their classrooms, that feedback is given through both informal and formal opportunities, and it's aligned to a framework, and it's consistent and it's fair. I think that that's really important. But beyond that, I think that there's a lot of power in ongoing professional development and collegial feedback through our coaching. So we have a preschool coach that provides consultation to teachers, through classroom observations, modeling, turnkeying information during our department meetings. A preschool social worker that also provides feedback on social emotional resources, preschool mental health, through pyramid model as well. Ongoing professional development opportunities. So with Creative Curriculum, we have a teacher's membership with our Teaching Strategies Gold platform. So we can take different courses throughout the year. So for all of our new teachers, they get an introduction to Creative Curriculum, an introduction to how our data is collected and measured and analyzed. And then other professional development opportunities that align with our vision and our goals. So pyramid model training modules, are other opportunities throughout the year. And then also through PLCs, right? So teachers looking at data together and data sets, and looking at our program as a whole, and looking at different classrooms or different students, and within the different areas that we're looking for students to achieve, and seeing how are we doing with this. Is there something we could, we need to change or we need to tweak? This year, we noticed that with our SGOs that some of our students they scored well, but maybe could have scored even better with some of like the literacy goals. So being intentional and adding a second small group to our schedule for next year as a program we think will allow for more teacher directed time with targeted instruction for all of our students, peer observation. So shout outs, celebrating our successes along the way. I think this is all part of supervision and support. And I also think that it has to be reflective in nature. So, really encouraging teachers individually to reflect on their practice, as well as with their colleagues or peers, and also following observation. So that is something that we have as a component of our observation process, that either following an observation before a post conference or after a post conference, teachers have an opportunity to reflect on their practice as well. So I think that this is something that it's important that our professional development is structured, it's continuous, it's adapted based on the program needs and the needs of our staff and our students, and that our feedback, is done collectively through a loop. It's not a one and done. So this is an ongoing process. And that is my school vision for the Raising Readers. Thank you.